Assalamualaikum to Sir Bastyian, our human resource lecturer. So our group are going to present about job analysis. More workers are quitting the job for flexibility. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Farizana binti Khalid, and I would like to briefly explain about what is job analysis. Okay, so job analysis is defined as the systematic process of collecting information about all parameters of a job. So in the word of job analysis, it also contains terms analysis that simply mean detailed study or examination of something in order to understand it, in order to understand more of it. Okay, so job analysis is basically to determine the basic responsibilities, the behavior, skill, physical and mental of the requirement of the people who do it. So job analysis is to understand more about a specific job in order to optimize it. So I'll proceed to the purpose of job analysis. So the first purpose of job analysis is recruitment and selection. So actually, a job analysis is actually helping the organization to choose people, to determine what kind of people is required to perform the job. So job analysis is actually giving an ideas for organization to choose people based on educational learning, educational qualification, level of experience, and the personal skill carried in order for they to perform the job. So the second purpose of having job analysis is performance analysis. Okay, so job analysis is actually ensure when the organization meet the goals and objective of a particular job. So it also helps to decide the performance standard, evaluation criteria, and individuals' output. Okay, so the next purpose of having job analysis is training and development. So we all know that employees, they need training to improve their skill. For example, like if company is adapting new technologies, the company, they need to send the employees to training in order for the employees to adapt with the new technologies, because some of the employees, they are very familiar with the traditional method, and in order for them to change to new methods, it requires times and it requires some skills. So if they are not having exposure on how to use the skill, it may affect them. So by sending them to training, they could learn new skill and they could adapt it. All employees may not require the same program, because some may need improvement of technical skill, and some may require behavior training, and some may need to improve their conceptual skill. Okay, back to flexible job. So flexible job is the degree of freedom to decide how the work will be done and how they coordinate their schedule, and the not flexible job is vice versa, while they are not being able to gain the freedom. So for example, the job is not flexible is doctor, because doctor, they need to ready 24/7, because we might not know when the emergency will be having. They need to prepare everything, they need to be on standby. For example, we could say that nowadays, like during the pandemic COVID-19 era, so the doctor, they cannot simply leave their job after their schedule, after their working times. Like they need to prepare 24/7 just in case they have many more patients to come. So this same goes to firemen. So firemen is actually, they need to prepare, they need to be on standby, because we might not know when the emergency will be will be happen even when they already ended their working time, but if they have an emergency, they need to come back to work. Okay, so that's how very not flexible working time for some of the workers, like doctors and firemen. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anum Syairah binti Jamain. Okay, here I want to talk about the issue. Why most of the employees are demanded when they want to quit from their work because of flexibility. So here I want to highlight about these three issues which are very demanded by most of the employees which make them want to quit from the job. Okay, the first one is the flexible time, which means the flexible arrival and departure time. It means that the employees can come to the office and also come home at any time as they want. So it means that they can come to the office at whatever time as they want, and they can go home at the office at any time they want. So by giving this freedom to the employees, it can increase and also boost the performance of the workers, and also it will reduce the stress. As we see nowadays, most of the companies, their working hours is starting at 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. So by giving this flexible time, maybe the employees can come to the office a bit earlier, like maybe at 8 a.m. and maybe they can go back to their home earlier also, maybe at 4 a.m. So this flexible time is really benefit to the employees. This is really benefit to mostly to parents which has small children. So it will give them flexible to fetch their children, and also if there is emergency happen, they can easily go where they want to go. Okay, the second issue is about the providing caregiving leave. It means that it is a leave that are given to the employees from the company. It means that it's a special leave that are given to the employees. For example, if the employees have parents who is old, so they need to take care about the welfare of the parents. So maybe the parents will seek emergency, so who knows. So by giving a caregiving leave, it will give a supportive to the employees, as they can go home to take care their mothers or their fathers or their parents, so that it will reduce, the company will have a supportive and understanding about the situation of the workers facing. So if the companies are able to understand what the workers want, what the employees really need during that time, so it will leave a good impression to the company. At the same time, when the company offer that, it will attract many new job candidates to apply with the company. So yeah, it is a very important why a company need to offer it. So this is the issue that most of the workers demand. Why? So by the company wasn't able to giving this thing, that's why the workers want to leave from the company. Okay, the third issue, why this issue can arise and what the most demanded by the employees is allowing remote works. It's mean that a freedom for employees to work from location outside of the company. It's mean that the workers can do their job anywhere, everywhere, whenever at home, at office, at a car, and so many places, as long as they have a connection of internet. Yeah, that is very important nowadays. So it is very compulsory, as we know that many of job nowadays they doesn't have to meet face to face. Maybe it can do by video call also can do, messaging, video conferencing. So this platform can be used to do this job. So it's not so the company need to allow this remote works to the workers. So it will give a freedom for the employees to do the job wherever they want. So they doesn't need to go to the office, as long as the work can be done. So it's okay, they can do it wherever they want. So by example, nowadays as we have a disease, which is the coronavirus COVID-19, so this remote work is very compulsory. We can't meet face to face. So by allowing remote work, it will give space, a freedom to the workers to settle their job, and also the job will not be postponed. Not only for works, lecturer also can use this thing, like we use now, which is online distance learning, where this learning can be done through many platforms like WhatsApp, Google Meets, video conference calls, Skype, and also Telegram. As nowadays it doesn't have, it's very compulsory, because many of us we know about the technology, we know how to use it, so why not we use it? So these three are demanded by most of the employees. This is why they demand these three things, but the company are unable to fulfill their demand. That's why most of the employees quitting from their job. They want a flexible works that they can, although it flexible, but still they can handle it, they can settle it, and also they can settle it. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Puteri Nur Syakila binti Azmi, and now I want to present about the advantage of flexible time to workers and the company itself. Okay, so for the first advantage is it could improve their physical and mental health. This is because the employees nowadays have to work really hard, and if they have big position, they could have big responsibility, and they tend to make themselves work really hard, and later will make them tired and burn out. Okay, so when they feel tired and burn out, they will easily get angry and stress over even on small matters. So what makes the employees different are how they cope with the stress. Okay, so from the research that has been made, the total productivity and business cost of mental health problems in Malaysia, according to absenteeism, presenteeism, and the staff turnover, attribute to 123 million ringgit and 13 million ringgit for Petronas and Nestle. These are the research comes from the one of the top employer in Malaysia. This research has shows that the employee have to incur big expenses to deal with mental health issues among the employees in the workplace. So by working on flexible time, the employees will feel flexible to work whenever they want, and they will get less stressful and feel free to do the job. But they have to make sure that they completed the job on time, in line with their deadlines that has fixed by the employers or the managers. They also have time to take care of themselves because of the flexible working time, such as they could eat properly, they could cook at home, they could do exercises and do hobby that they want that they could not do before they get the flexible working hours, so on and so forth. Next, we go to another point, which is they could balance their home and work life. So from here, no matter what work that they do, the employees always want to give their best in their work until that they neglected their own life. They neglected their happiness. Because of that, they feel their lifestyle will lead to imbalanced life, so they tend to find another job with flexibility offered. Flexibility, we can say that it comes from flexibility of time, flexibility of maybe the deadlines, how they could what we can say that how they could submit their works, their papers, not only they have to come to their workplace to submit the job. So survey that has been made by the corporate executive board said that people who feel they have achieved work-life balance will get work harder by 21% more than the people who did not feel the same way. So from the research that has been made, it shows that the people who have the work-life balance tend to work more productive than the people who does not. So from that, the company will gain the benefits, which is the output that be made by the employees will be more quality, and the company will get more satisfied with the work. So actually, the Ministry of Human Resources in Malaysia has encouraged public and private sector workers to practice work from home, and actually it has benefit some of 2,320 housewives and 440 single mothers. So from this research, it shows that actually the work-life balance must to achieve to all the employees. Employer must done the same thing, the same effort made by the government, which is encourage the employees to work from home. The employers must make some plans or initiatives so that the employees that are not seriously needed in office, such as administrative department, accounting departments, such that department to work from home, so that especially for the housewife or single mothers I have mentioned just now, they could benefit from that. So is a human needs a balanced life with a balanced life between career and life itself, so that they will not be drowned in the burden of living.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarah Najiha binti Syed Muzahar. So I will explain about the disadvantage of not flexible time to company and workers itself. Firstly is the disadvantage of not flexible time to company and workers itself is difficult for the company to boost employee morale. This is because sometimes the employees had made complaint to the top management, but then they are being ignored by the employers. So this will make the employees upset. When they are upset with the bad response from the top manager, then the employee will it will decrease their good performance in their job. Next is increased tardiness and absenteeism of employees. This happen when the employee fail to manage their busy schedules. So, for example, employee who is a mother want to pick up his son at the childcare, but it happened that she need to do overtime. So, the employees will act against the company's rule. For example, they will absent from works because they want to settle their personal issues. Next is increased employee turnover. This happen when the employee cannot cope with the situation, then they choose to resign so that they can find a better workplace for them. This will make the company decrease their productivities. Next, we will move on to the disadvantage of not flexible time to workers. Firstly, it is difficult for them to meet family and personal needs. For example, the employee does not have leisure time, which it will not help them to decrease their stress. They don't have time for them to reduce their stress. For example, if the employee have leisure time, they can they can spend some time for their hobby. For example, they can go for yoga class or can attend the parent-teacher conference. Next is have less control over time schedule and working environment. As we know, people doesn't like when they are being controlled because they feel like they are working under pressure, and when they feel like that, it will not help them to learn new skill, which will prevent them from improving themselves. So when people are working under pressure, then they cannot explore many things. For example, it reduce their creativity. Lastly is workers cannot work during the hours that fit employees' energy cycle best. This will increase employees burnout due to the overload. Employees should take break whenever they want, so that they can improve their morale. When they are too tired to do work, then they will give bad performance to the companies in the aspect of their job. As a conclusion, company need to settle their issues so that they can maintain their workers and also increase productivity so that the company can achieve their goals. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Najah binti Masaan. Today, I will be present the challenges for the company to apply the flexible time under the topic of job analysis, which is more workers are quitting job for the flexibility. For your information, under the job analysis, they consist of the job design. The job design is important to the company to redesign the organization for the productivity and efficiency of the company. One of the example of the job design under the job analysis is flexible work schedule. In the flexible work schedule, it consists of flex time, compressed work week, job sharing, and telecommuting. However, they have the challenges for the company to apply the flexible time, as it have the problem in between of the employer and employee. Firstly, the challenge of the company to apply the flexible time is the stratified workforce schedule. This challenge, the employer will use the flexibility as a way of manipulating an hourly employee work schedule to make the management for flexible scheduling. It shows that the dishonest attitude of the employer toward the employee. Secondly, the challenge is the word intensification. In the word intensification, the employee is expected to complete the full-time workload despite the employee is a part-time worker and have been paid as the part-time worker. This is usually happen in the workplace nowadays. And thirdly, favoritism. Some employees use control of schedule to punish employees. For example, the employer will take his favorite employee rather than other employer, and it is show the biasness between them. In addition, the challenges for the company to apply flexible time is the lack of integration. The lack of the integration happen when the employee working flexibility may not be integrated well with the organization. This is mostly happen when there is no teamwork and also lack of communication in between of employee and employee and employee and employer too. Furthermore, the challenges for the company to apply the flexible time is the limited technology and resource. This is important for the company who work from the different location. Besides that, it is also important for the productivity and efficiency of the company too. Lastly, the challenges for the company to apply the flexible time is the health and the risk or accident. Certain form of the flexibility, such as the compressed work week schedule, are associated with the health risk. With the increased number of hours that work, it may lead for the more physical strain and burnout.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Anis Amira binti Azmi Kamal, and today I will present about the solution or the recommendation in order to overcome the employees from resign in the organization. Okay, basically there has three ways in order to overcome this problem, which is the first one is by improving the reward system. The second one, which is the workplace flexibility, which has two, which is the first one is flexible working hours, and the second one is telecommuting. Okay, for the first one is by improving the working hours, by improving the reward system. Okay, reward system, under the reward system, basically they has two types, which is the extrinsic rewards and intrinsic reward. These two types of reward actually need to be considered by the organization when they hiring the employee, because these two rewards will influence the employee motivation and will lead them to the loyalty in the organization. Okay, the extrinsic reward is the rewards that can be seen in the eyes or in the tangible form, which is in the form of pay, bonuses, salary, and also incentive. Okay, the pay, salaries and bonuses actually can increase the employee motivation, and thus it can influence the employee motivation and influence their fields in order to retain or not in the organization. And the second one is the intrinsic reward. Intrinsic reward is the reward in the type of intangible form, which is we cannot see but we can feel, such as the recognition, the praise, and the care of the employers toward the employees. Okay, if the employees feel that the work that they have done by them and the payment that they receive is not worth, thus it will makes the employees feel demotivated, and thus they will feel that it's not enough and they will resign and will need to resign. And this type of reward can increase the employees' motivation, and thus when they increase the employee motivation, it will makes them retain in the organization and loyal and feel loyalty towards the organization. Okay, the second way that the organization can do in order to prevent or to overcome the problems of the resign of the employees in the organization is by having the workplace flexibility. Workplace flexibility can be defined as giving the opportunity to the employees to work on their own time, such as where, when, and how they want to perform their tasks. There's two ways that the employer can provide to the employees, which is the first one is by giving the workplace flexible working hours, and the second is telecommuting. The first one is flexible working hours, which can be defined as the option that give to the employees to choose when they want to start and when they want to finish their job, as long as they fulfill the requirement of working hours. And sometimes the employees have a difficulty in coming early to the office, such as they have to send their kids to the kindergarten or the school, and also they have to either treat their parents or any other kind of thing that is important to them. And sometimes the employee choose to resign because they feel that the employers did not provide them any alternative way for them to perform their work, and thus they feel that they need to resign and they need to search for the other jobs that are suitable for their daily life, and thus they will feel demotivated because they cannot focus in the work, they cannot come early, and thus they will resign. And by having the flexible working hours, it gives the opportunity for the employees to work at any time they want and to finish at any time they want, and thus they can perform their work at any time they want, and this gives benefits to both of employees and also employees. Okay, the third way that the company can do in order to prevent or in order to overcome the workers resign, which is the telecommuting. Telecommuting is allowing the workers to do their job at any time or anywhere they want without having to attend to the office. And this type of solution can increase the employee satisfaction, since they didn't have to attend to the office, but they just can do their work at home, and it will lead to higher of commitment since they can finish their work on time just at home. And this actually benefit to the people like the single parents, because sometimes single parents have the difficulty in coming to the office because they have problem at home, they have problem with their own child, and thus it can give benefit to them since they can still do their job. And indirectly, it will increase the employee motivation, increase the employee satisfaction, and overcome and prevent them from resign. And in this year of 2020, what we can see is the pandemic happened, which is the coronavirus, COVID-19 happened, and people cannot go to work, and the government also restrict or not allow people to go to work. And one of the way that most of the company do is by allowing or by doing a telecommuting work, which is the employees just can do their work at home and did not have to come to the office, since this restriction is to prevent the spread of the virus from happen. Okay, for the conclusion for this assignment is that people nowadays more prefer on having a job flexibility, since job flexibility enable them to do other things that can be considered in their life. And quitting for job flexibility has shown the willingness of the employees to quit in order to find another job that are more suitable for them and can suit for their commitment in their life. And the very first thing that the company need to consider in hiring the employees is the things that they can provide to the employees, because employees has give their full commitment to perform their job, to give their skill, energy, expertise, and other things in order to give a success in the organization and perform in a good way. And company need to ensure they give this thing, because this is the things that can boost the employees' motivation, and thus it can lead to the satisfaction of the employees and can make them retain in the organization. And company need to know that employees is the human capital or the rare things that cannot be found in other company or in other place, and thus they need to take care of their employees carefully, because if they lose the good employees, it actually give loss to the organization since they don't have the good employees anymore. Thank you.